Hello, everybody. Cal Banyan here. Cal Banyan's Hypnosis, etc. with Brenda Titus. Oh, man. It's going to be like 80 degrees today, and it's like mid-December. I just love Orange County and the OC. Hey, let's see. What are we going to talk about today? Surgery. I love this part because you see, on a beautiful day like this, I like to get on Facebook and show me riding around in my short sleeve shirt on a motorcycle, riding off into the sunset or in the morning and through the canyon when I know that most of the Northern Hemisphere is looking at snow and rain and all that stuff. So do you check out social media? Do you? That brings us to the topic. And the topic today is surviving social media anxiety. Brenda was talking about how today's social media can bring all kinds of stress into your life and how that can affect your clients and how you can work with them. Speaking of Brenda, let me tell you about Brenda. Brenda, she's smart. She's a real caring person. She's a beautiful trainer that comes in and helps me with the practice sessions in our courses. She's a delight to be around, and she's smart. She's got a bachelor's degree in sociology, a master's degree in criminology. She used to work at a rape crisis center, so she's used to dealing with real world problems and clients. And every time we get together, she comes up with new topics that just really add to the depth and breadth of what we do on this show. How you doing, Brenda?
I'm doing great, Cal. Thank you so much for having me today, and thank you all for joining us today as we talk about surviving social media. So let me first tell you a little bit about Cal. Cal is the hypnosis celebrity and authority. He's received almost every award and recognition in the profession given by the National Guild of Hypnotists, and his books, The Secret Language of Feelings and Hypnosis and Hypnotherapy, have made him one of the authorities in hypnosis that works. I think one of the really neat things is that Cal just really boils it all down to the important elements, and then he gives it back. He gives it back through the training that he does, through how he elevates the Five Path International Association, how he elevates his grads to support them in being as successful as they can be, and also in how he puts together these podcasts. We're at over 450, actually over 460 at this point, and he says we get to 500, he's going to keep on going, and hopefully I'll be here too. So today we are going to talk about surviving social media, and I called this one, we've got the whole world in the palm of our hands, at the dinner table, in the bedroom, everywhere. We got to survive this social media because it truly is everywhere. And this, I've been thinking about this actually for quite a while, Cal. Since I last recorded, we've had major world events, and for me and you, local events. The terrorism attacks in Paris, San Bernardino, the holidays, and I'm on Facebook all the time. Well, actually, I should say, as you hear some of my tips, I'm not on Facebook all the time, but I'm on Facebook a decent amount of time. And so I am also really seeing this quite a bit in my office as my clients come forward and I see them. They experience a lot of anxiety, pressure, stress. And a lot of it boils down to what they're seeing and experiencing in social media. And here's the thing. Most people are exposing themselves constantly to it, right in the palm of their hands, whether they're in the bedroom, whether they're waiting in a line at the store, men waiting for their female partners to exit the restrooms, while you're out and about at the dining room table. Our phones are kind of always there. So we've got the whole world in the palm of our hands, but it's also stressing us out. What do you think about that, Cal?
I think that I'm curious, are you finding that clients are coming in and they're admitting to this, or it's something you discover together?
It is a combination, So we'll be talking about that in a minute, how I've really seen that play out. And some of it's stuff that I experience myself, and then I see it in my clients as well. But first, here's the big thing to really be aware of is that social media has a very hypnotic effect, for good or ill. You realize you're scrolling down. You're just looking at your news feed, maybe even kind of passively. I see this a lot actually with my smokers. I will tell you that right now, that they kind of do this. They're taking their cigarette break. They're looking at Facebook, and they're not engaged with either. They're not present at all. I admit I do that while I'm eating. Probably the reason that I don't gain weight with that is because I'm eating only what was, the prescribed amount. And so, but I'm also not enjoying my engaging with other people on Facebook, and I'm not enjoying my lunch either. So that's the thing, is that as you're scrolling down that Facebook feed or whatever kind of social media platform, you're just getting flooded with everything, news updates, people's opinions. And here's the next thing, Cal, and this is where I see this play out in my sessions a lot, is you're getting exposed to the best and worst of what everybody has to say. So you don't post about your average everyday kind of thing on Facebook. People start to really, I see this a lot in my clients so much, they're really comparing themselves to others. They feel left out. Everybody's having such a great time, but not me. I'm not good enough. My pictures aren't as cute. My holiday, events aren't as fun, or feeling left out. So they feel that, especially when they're getting exposed to the positive posts that are going on in their friends or family's lives. The other big part is that exposure to negativity. And that's exactly, what I've been thinking about, especially lately, whether that's a personal issue that people are posting about because people post their best and their worst days, but that's also politics. Oh my gosh, as we head into an election year in the United States, I'm very, very aware of that. Or if it's just general news, is that people are posting their opinions, posting their thoughts, and sometimes they're not nice. How about that, Cal?
Well, right, and these feuds can happen because it could be politics or any kind of judgmental activity that goes on, and all of a sudden your reputation is on the line because someone says something negative, or it might even not be meant as negative, but you take it as negative, and these online feuds can happen that can just be very, very stressful because all of your, quote, friends, your Facebook friends, are in on that conversation, right?
Yes, I actually, as I was preparing this podcast, in a personal community that I'm involved in, that very much happened. One person said something, other people took offense, then people called them out, and all of a sudden friends, partnerships, collaborations just crumbled. And I was watching it. I wasn't even involved, but it was oh my gosh, all these people that I care about, and I wasn't, pleased with any of them and how they were behaving. And it was very, upsetting, and that's somebody who, I get it. I know what happens. I understand. I talk to my clients all the time about social media and being careful. So let's talk about how we can help. And these are some of the things that I've employed actually, right when I originally joined Facebook, I experienced this myself. And so it's part of why I'm able to really see it with my clients and be able to talk about it, was that exposure. It was like the whole world was in my living room and in my thought process and in my dreams. And I had to really realize, it's kind of a different way of engaging with people. And our friends and our family and the whole world. So these are some things to think about when working with your clients, where you realize that this is becoming an issue for them. Definitely be sure you're talking to your clients about the hypnotic effect of social media. First is that kind of scroll, where we're just getting flooded in with all the information, the images, the pictures, the thoughts, and everything. But also be, this is a great opportunity, be talking to your clients about, when they're emotional, when a big emotional event is coming up or they're involved in, or they're seeing or experiencing, those images are just flooding into their brains. Their critical factor is down and they're just flooded. So especially when there's like a time of major trauma or crisis. Encourage your clients to set limits on how long they're engaging on social media, how often they're engaging on social media. And like I said, when I said I'm on all the time, that's actually not true. I definitely set a lot of limits, especially where, there's big events going on or things like that. I have to kind of shut it down, shut it off, turn it off, and walk away. Encourage your clients to set limits on who they engage with or who they follow. Now, obviously you have friends and you have family, and I know there's a whole thing about when you get unfriended, and believe me, that feels terrible. It feels just as bad as if, some bratty teenager did something to you in the middle of, high school or middle school or whatever. But you don't have to even unfriend somebody. You can click the little unfollow button. You don't have to see every single post that they say. You can still be engaged. You can still, go and see what they have to say on your terms. And I've had to do this. I have plenty of people in my life who, are part of my inner circle, but I don't agree with their politics. I don't agree with their social, beliefs and things like that. And I knew I would look at their posts and it would be like, I'd just get all worked up. I'd start my day all upset. And so when I stopped following them, that helped a lot. So I definitely encourage that people do that. Remind your clients how important it is to remember that what they see on Facebook is the best and the worst of everybody's days. People are posting their best, people are posting their worst. They're not just posting the regular, average, everyday kinds of things. So when you realize that your clients are comparing themselves to other people, it's so important to remind them they're comparing themselves to a false reality. Facebook is not reality. The rest of social media, that is not even reality TV. That's not reality. Not to not compare themselves to what they're seeing there. And sometimes I use people's social media to my advantage. And this actually happened with me with one of my sessions when I saw Stephanie a few years ago. I'd walked into a session right after I was on Facebook, and someone else had got me all worked up. Every single one of mine, not good enough, feeling left out. It went boiling right up to the surface, and my hypnotist realized that was happening, and she went boom, and we dove right into that. And it was one of my best sessions that I had, very powerful, and it was stuff that would have never come up otherwise. So that's actually, kind of why I realize how much, when people engage on social media, what they're seeing, what they're experiencing, and what they're, just sucking into themselves, it can create so much anxiety. I definitely recommend that people follow some positive things. Louise Hay always has really great posts on a regular basis, kind of based on her daily calendar or other kind of daily positive messages and things like that, so that you're getting that flood of the positive that's coming in. So that was kind of what I wanted to share as we think about, surviving social media, surviving that anxiety that comes up as you're getting flooded by seeing what is out there. Especially, like I said, as we prepare for in the United States an election year, because that's definitely one of those times where I notice that really come up. But especially, there's all kinds of times throughout the year or what have you. So I really just kind of wanted to, talk about that and have people be thinking about it. So anything else, Cal, before we wrap it up today?
I've been writing all kinds of notes down because you've been on a roll.
Sorry, I had a lot to say.
Hey, so, as you talk about, we used to have this idea of, and maybe it's still out there, of keeping up with the Joneses. The Joneses next door, they get a new car, now you want a new car. And social media just magnifies that. If you have 100 friends on Facebook, and over the year, 10% of them get a new car, it seems like everybody's getting a new car, and it feeds into what you're calling that false reality, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And so we do some reality checking with our clients, is what I'm hearing you say. So like with the secret language of feelings, All this stuff is coming up. Maybe they're feeling insecure, which is fear, or maybe they're getting angry because it doesn't seem fair and because of this false reality. And with the secret language of feelings, either the book or the website or just understanding how it works, is you respond to it with 1, 2, 3. You name the feeling that you're having, then you recognize the cause of the feeling, which is a thought, I'm not good enough, it's not fair, whatever it is. And then we do a reality check. You go, wait a minute. And you do what Brenda was just talking about, and that is this reality, or are we just seeing like everybody's best and everybody's worst? So the secret language of feelings, either the book or the website, TSLOF, or thesecretlanguageoffeelings.com. TSLOF.com or thesecretlanguageoffeelings.com has more information on that. It's all free. And to say, am I comparing myself, setting limits? And then some other thing that you said that I want to say it in a different way is, we talk about this in class all the time: gold in, gold out. And just like you're saying, Brenda, when you go to social media, you're kind of drinking from the fire hose, and you get this blast of, this bimodal thing of a whole bunch of positive and a whole bunch of negative, and it just comes at you, where you want to purposefully, if you're going to visit social media, subscribe to positive things, listen to positive podcasts, these things that are self-growth and help you feel good and move ahead so that you can get that new car if it's important to you. So gold in, gold out means make your life set up in such a way that positive information comes to you automatically. That's why we set up the VIP program here on calbanyan.com. You subscribe, you become a VIP member, and every week when we put on a new video, we say, hey, here's the new video, it's all about blah, 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 come on by and watch it. And so what happens is it gets pushed towards you in a good way, that you don't have to remember to come to see if there's any new videos. We just send you that little email that says, hey, new video up. Let's see. Now, another really important thing I want to reiterate is when, and you're talking about it, Brenda, that there was some things going on that was pushing your buttons, and it helped the person you were seeing with hypnosis, the 5-pather you were visiting, Stephanie Green, to say, is this a theme that's going on, and do you want to work on it? So social media and the 24-hour news cycle, what it's done is it's just intensified life, speeded up life. We're hearing about murders and war that we never would have heard of, 30 years ago or ever before in the history of man. And so we're getting bombarded by all this negative stuff, and it might push our buttons. We might resonate to it. A family crisis, somebody getting killed, disease. Do we have those kind of issues in our past that have not been worked through properly? So as a good hypnotist, watch for these themes, and because as these things happen in social media or in the news, they resonate, as we 5-pathers call it, with issues inside of us, and it makes the client at that moment prime for working on that kind of thing. All right, that's it. Wrap it up.
All right. Excuse me. It was so great to hear from you. Thank you so much, Cal. Actually, I know I'd kind of said a lot because I had a lot that I was really thinking about, but I think that you just brought it all back together in a really nice way. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for joining us. I hope that this opened your eyes to thinking about some of those things. You can reach me at ochypnotherapy.com. On Facebook, actually, I would love for you guys to all follow me on Facebook at Healing Path Hypnosis. I actually do some kind of fun once a week or so, a fun little post to make people smile and make people laugh, bring some joy into their daily lives. So you'll have to, or weekly lives. So you'll have to go and take a look over there and see what I've got going on over there. Of course, leave your comments down below or your questions. I'm happy to be here today and be able to share. And I look forward to seeing you all the next time that I come to record. So I'm signing off.
All right, good. Well, I'm celebrating another 4 videos, all recorded with Brenda. I really like the vibe you bring and the topic ideas, and it always turns out good. It goes out to Celeste and Meredith and Brenda and Erika and Elron, wherever you are. You know, you've brought so much to these podcasts, these hypnosis training videos, by bringing in, you know, topic ideas and really showing the world how to apply what you learn as 5-path hypnotist to the kinds of things that go on in real office situations. All right. Hey, speaking of social media, go over to facebook.com/hypnosis, etc. That's HYPNOSIS Hypnosis, etc. We are always posting there. That's where our first notifications go out for all kinds of things that go on. It could be specials on training, or it could be hypnosis news, or it could be the announcement of these videos. Also on our Hypnospace, that is the very first original network for hypnosis professionals. And then finally, I want to see you in class. You hear me say it all the time. When you come to class, you're going to know it. The NGH approved Banyan Hypnosis Certification Super Course with 5-path and 7-path on January 18th. Coming up. I mean, it is coming up. And there's going to be another class towards the end of March. Beginning of April. You can get all of our course schedules on calbanyan.com. Also, we got in February the Solid Gold Weekend coming up, and we're going to have Celeste, Erika, myself, and other well-known leaders, teachers in the hypnosis profession. And finally, that's it. Have a great and wonderful Christmas, if it hasn't already happened yet, and because we record these ahead of time. But a great holiday season, be it Hanukkah or Christmas, and certainly have a happy New Year. Cal Banyan, signing off. This recording is the property of Cal Banyan and the Banyan Hypnosis Center for Training and Services, Incorporated. All rights reserved, for private use only, may not be duplicated without permission. For contact information, go to www.hypnosiscenter.com.